people who's joining live?
The number of people, not
Okay, not the names. Okay.
not the names.
Okay.
I don't think so. ሰላም ጤና ይስጥልኝ ውድ የኢትዮጲክ ቤተሰቦች እንደምን አመሻችሁ። ዛሬ ረቡዕ ሜይ 13 በተከታታይ ስናደርገው የቆየነውን የዲሲ ከንቲባነት የሚወዳደሩ እጩዎች ቃለ መጠይቅ ኮሚኒቲያችን የሰበሰብናቸውን ጥያቄዎች ይዘን ኢንተርቪው ማድረጋችንን ቀጥለናል። ዛሬ ይዘን የቀረብነው ለዲሲ ከንቲባነት እጩ ሆነው እየተወዳደሩ በዴሞክራቲክ ፓርቲ በኩል እየተወዳደሩ ያሉትን ሚስተር ኧርነስት ጆንሰን ይሆናል። እንግዲህ ጥያቄዎቹን በእንግሊዝኛ ይሆናል የምናደርገው። በኋላ ላይ እንደተለመደው ወደ አማርኛ ይተረጎሙና በwww ኢትዮጲክ.com ላይ ይቀርቡላቸዋል ማለት ነው። አብራችሁን ስለምትቆዩ እናመሰግናለን። እኔ ሄኖክ እባላለሁ። Thank you. So that is Amharic version of welcoming our viewers and also introducing you a little bit to our viewers. But I am going to transfer that opportunity to you now. And please, Mr. Ernest Johnson, introduce yourself and also explain why you are running for the mayor's office now at this time.
Well, Henu, thank you so very much for this opportunity, and I say greetings to the Ethiopian community. I am not new to engage in the Ethiopian community. As I was speaking to you before we went on air, I've spoken at the Ethiopian church up at 14th and Upshur Street previously, and met with a number of your associates who are interested, who are cab drivers or Uber drivers, and who are very engaged with the car sharing industry. My name is Ernest Johnson. I am a native Washingtonian, third generation here in Washington, D.C. I have dedicated my life to public service and leadership and community empowerment. I have worked with President Richard Nixon, worked with President Jimmy Carter, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, before successfully managing Marion Barry's first campaign for mayor of the District of Columbia. I am a Harvard University educated leader. I have earned a Bachelor's of Science degree with a strong background in mathematics from the University of Maryland. And throughout my career, I have remained deeply committed to protecting working families, seniors, and taxpayers of the District of Columbia. My campaign is a grassroots campaign built on one principle and one principle only, putting DC residents first, not lobbyists, not developers, or not special interests. I have been an outspoken advocate for government accountability, challenging abuses in the district's fair election program, opposing unfair utility rate increases approved by the Public Service Commission, and demanding stronger, more effective public safety policies that produce measurable results for residents across all 8 wards. So I am happy to be here. I welcome all of our Facebook viewers as well. This plans to be a very interesting conversation. Look forward to engaging everyone on live book from the Ethiopian community or any place else.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So the framework for this interview will be, I have a laid out questions that a portion of them, we got them from our readers and viewers. And some, every now and then, I might add some questions based off of the responses that you have provided for those initial questions. So this question is like that. It's not part of the original question, but you mentioned that you have talked to the Ethiopian community at the church in 14 and Upshur, and you had a chance to have a conversation with Uber drivers and taxi drivers and things like that. So what did you learn about the community from those interactions and those conversations?
Well, I think most of them obviously are interested in showing up the economic support, creating jobs and opportunity, obviously pathways to citizenship. Many of them remain dedicated to Ethiopia. There is another part of the country that I cannot recall. It begins with an H, seeking some independence. In that regard, I attended several of their meetings many years ago. I can't remember the specific, but I was delighted. When I went to the church, I was kind of surprised to see everyone dressed all in the white garments from head to toe. And I just, was kind of surprised with that, because I'm a Christian in the Baptist church. You kind of wear, your suit and tie. Everybody wear pretty much what they want to wear. But they were very friendly, very warming, allowed me to address the entire congregation, allowed me to interact and answer questions about the District of Columbia. And this is the nation's capital. So this is a melting pot of immigrants from all over the world come here to the United States and find themselves in the nation's capital, want to make a better living for their family, want to bring other members to the United States, and they just want the very best way to do that.
Great. This next question is directly from one of our readers. It goes as, if elected, what are the top 3 changes residents would realistically see during your first year in the office?
Well, one of the things, and I'm known for being honest, authentic, and forthright. The special interest lobbyists and developers have gotten a hold on our taxpayer dollars in the District of Columbia. We are a $22 billion budget with 30,000 employees, and outside influence has gotten a grip on our funding. So as the next mayor of the District of Columbia, it is my responsibility to make sure that all DC tax dollars are spent on DC residents, on our education system, on our public safety, and a number of other high-profile areas that we should be investing in. So first, to begin, we have approved by the City Council, proposed by Mayor Muriel Bowser, a $2 billion lead pipe replacement program. My first day in office, I will revoke that program. It is a backdoor rate increase. That's why your water bills has gone up. And I will replace that with a $500 million EPA grant. We do need lead pipe replacement. We do not need our taxpayers paying for it. That's one of the things. The Public Service Commission has improved erroneously a number of PEPCO rate increases. The DC Court of Appeals have ruled those increases were improper and should not have been granted, and that ratepayers are in fact due a refund. I will be asking for the resignation of the 3 members of the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission is to protect DC residents. They should not be utility lobbyists who advocate for increased profits for utility companies. So I will be asking for their resignations on the first day when I'm in office. The third thing is the RFK redevelopment deal. This is a transformative opportunity. It's a $1.3 billion investment that the mayor and the council have approved. And my leading opponents in this race went along with subsidizing a billionaire for some jobs and possible affordable housing in the future. That is a deal that I will also revoke. I will hire the law firm of Arnold and Porter to come in and renegotiate the deal. We will allow minority owners. DC taxpayers will own 26% of the team. And that's how you get a real seat at the table. We'll have also what is known as tag-along rights. If the team is ever sold in the future, DC taxpayers will get 26% of the value of the team anytime that it is sold. Just a real seat at the table. We have a say in hiring and firing, jobs, vendors, as well as the surrounding area. And Metro has just come out and say that they do not want to do a additional Metro stop. I think that that's a wrong approach. I do understand why they're saying it though, because of the funding and the cost. And so I will raise independent funding for an additional Metro interest. I think Ward 6 Council Member Charles Allen has an excellent idea in this regard, and I'll be raising additional support and funding for that. And because we're buying out these minority owners, Magic Johnson and all of them, I'm giving them 10% ROI return on their investment. They all love it because they get a first shot at ownership opportunities and stadium investing opportunities to reinvest their funding. So that's just a brief synopsis of the three things immediately that I would do. And I just would add a fourth, that I'm going to hire 3,000 of our young people to the mayor's youth beautification task force. This is the nation's capital city. It's entirely too dirty. It's too many rats. We have really got to clean up our neighborhoods. And I want the Department of Public Works, all of its employees and all of its equipment to be available 24/7 to make sure that this is the most beautiful city, because we're going to invest nearly $10 billion in the next 3 or 4 years in rebuilding the nation's capital to represent it the way that it should.
Okay. This question has to do with inclusion and language and access to information. The district currently have Amharic services when it communicates with residents, but mostly those communications are either translated using a software which butchers the language, or have been translated by incompetent individuals, and that doesn't communicate the concept that it was supposed to transmit to the residents. And most individuals that rely on those information and that have a lack of understanding of the English language usually suffer from that. In addition to that, the alert DC system usually sends alerts via text message or through social media in English, which is well and good. But again, there are a portion of residents that actually might not understand what those messages are. And like when there is a tornado warning or things like that, is there any plan from your end, if you get elected, to have a more inclusive way of addressing these issues to low proficient English speakers within this system?
Well, I think you and I had a brief conversation about this earlier. There is a DC law that any immigrant population that has over 3% of the population in the city, the DC government is required by law to provide sufficient translation or insertion of their language into the government operations. But for me personally, whenever there is a possible public safety emergency, whether it's a resident in distress, whether it's a medical emergency, or whether it is a natural disaster, such as an earthquake or something like we had in 9/11, we need to be able to communicate with our entire population. And I'm just quite honestly impressed with the advanced technology that AI is developing. And I think that we'll be able to integrate those services in a competent way where everybody will feel comfortable and safe, that they're able to communicate on a dime without any delay, any type of emergency, medical or public safety emergency that they're having, regardless of their language. When I'm there. And one of the problems that we've even had with our emergency services is even with medical responses, and that's something that I definitely want to certainly take a look at and see why some calls are coming in. People are going to a different location or the wrong location, which can be a life-saving minutes to a person in a medical situation. So I meet with our public safety officials, most of all of them who know me, who welcome me as being the next mayor of the District of Columbia. I have a conversation with them, hear what they have to say with the issue. See, a lot of times our public safety officials cannot be honest or forthright because the confidentiality they know will be breached, and nobody wants to say that they brought this issue to light. But they believe in my integrity and in my confidence that if they tell me something, I can get it straight without revealing where the information came from. So I'm confident that we'll be a highly efficient and well-functioning government.
Okay, so I'm deviating from the line of questions that I have. You mentioned AI can solve these problems. I don't have any AI question, but let me ask you this. So what's your take about AI and the fear from the general public that it is going to take away jobs from humans?
Well,
are you pro of having an AI in your administration to take over?
I mean, AI is here to stay. It's, anytime you roll out an advanced technology, is going to be a certain amount of apprehension. Even when the computers came out, everybody was upset about that. I'm a public high school graduate. I went to Cadoza. Our alma mater we're known as the Cadoza clerks, and we were on the regular IBM typewriters, and we were all supposed to be clerks in the federal government. And I remember when the computers came out, everybody was so anti the computer, and the computer couldn't do this and couldn't do that. But now all of us are functioning with them in smartphones. AI technology, yes, it's going to impact a number of jobs, and particularly the immigrant community as well as the Black community. I often advocate to students who are going to college. I've gone to Harvard and the University of Maryland, and I try to advise them stay away from the humanity courses. Those are things that can easily be erased. You want to be well compensated. You want to go into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. These sciences that are well paid for, along with the legal and medical profession. Yeah, right now AI is even replacing some medical data, with some information.
Even the science, technology, computer science, and at some places the blue collar jobs that were once thought secure, now they have an AI operated lawnmower and things like that. So
Well, I don't know. Somebody's going to have to fix it. Somebody's going to have to get it going straight. I mean, they even coming with the driverless cars. I mean, Waco is
way more.
yeah, they're trying to do an experiment here in the district. It'll be about another year or two before that's rolled out, because it impacts our traffic lights and signals and things of that nature. They have to be adapted to that. But yeah, in terms of the jobs for the future, and this is why I want to re-engineer our high schools, because I want to put vocational training back in, because those are going to be the millionaires of the future. The bricklayers, the plumbers, the electricians. Those are jobs that AI would not replace. Now, if you're talking about a cashier job at a bank or at a food or grocery, that's pretty much, those jobs are going to vanish pretty quickly. You're already seeing banks like Chase; they don't even have any tellers. You already have the self-checkout lines at the grocery store. So those are the jobs. So re-educating oneself, getting adapted to it. Where it's really impacting is the movie and the entertainment industry, with singers and actors. I've had the privilege of seeing myself in a movie that I never played in, never played a role, never played a role in it. There I was, cited lines just as good, and I said, "Wow," you know. So I hope that I will at least be able to get some compensation, or my children and grandchildren and great grandchildren will be able to get some compensation for using my likeness and image at that end. But here is the net of it. And I share this with all of the community, particularly in the Black community. When you had these opportunities to be national singers and actors, do something to help your community. Don't just go around about how important you are and how special you are and ooh, we look at me, because this is what you see. So a lot of times when I look at with entertainers and athletes and actors is, what are you doing in your neighborhood? I'm not too impressed about, the look at me group. Is, are you really engaged, helping to uplift your community, directing your youth? Or you just really, stuck on being narcissistic and want everybody to kind of like praise you, which, is something that, we in the Christian community definitely cannot do, because God tells us, have no other God before me, worship no one other than me. And so, we're getting away from that type of worship. And if you've been blessed with some economic opportunities that I have, then you should pour back into your community and help rebuilding our schools and our education system and providing jobs and opportunities. So AI is here to stay. Nobody is not going away. Don't care how much you don't like it. My mother is 93. She can't stand it.
Yeah.
She cannot stand it. You understand? But it's just here, and so thank God I have the durable power of attorney to act on her behalf, because when she get on the phone and an AI person answers, she just go off, and so I have to follow up on all of that. But yeah, AI is here to stay, and it's going to just be more progressive. It's going to be hard for people to even tell in the next 3 or 4 years what is AI and what isn't.
Okay. My next question has to do with businesses. In fact, I can merge the next two questions. So I'm going to merge them for the sake of time. One is for small businesses that are trying to either for individuals that wish to start a new business, or for new businesses that are already struggling in the district due to rent, taxes, public safety, and the rising cost of everything, the affordability issue that everybody keeps mentioning but fails to provide any solution so far. If elected, do you have any plans to alleviate that, and how would you say that you will solve these issues from small businesses? And my second question attached to that is, usually government contractors for small businesses require businesses to have a brick and mortar existence in the district. But there are so many businesses that operate from virtual offices and co-working spaces, but they have an active online presence. They can show the cash flow and they're producing something, they're showing their progress, but those are excluded from these government contractors. And you said already, it's the time is AI is going to stick around. The time is for technology. And how are you going to make sense of that at this day and age? Businesses require brick and mortar to get government contracts, and the previous question, which has to do with permits, taxes, and expenses for small business owners.
Well, one of the things that I certainly want to do is make it easier to get licensing and permits for any business. I think that should be a one-day operation. One, and we have to give consideration to new businesses in terms of the business taxes that we may levy. I'm not really sure on all of the business taxes across every industry, but I am familiar with the Department of Continuing Regulatory Affairs and that agency's licensing permits. I've been a real estate broker for 30 years. I am licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I'm also a notary public, commissioned in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I am chairman of a nonprofit organization, Friends of the Frank Reeve Center on 14th and U Street. And we have to be licensed, all the time. I haven't had any problems. The fees seem to be straightforward, and the process seems to be easy. So I just want to keep those fees down. But one of the things that discourages businesses is when you have high crime rates. And everybody in the district right now, we're in an unhealthy environment, where everybody's head is on a swivel. I don't care what part of the city that you're in, from Ward 1 to Ward 8. Obviously, Wards 5, 7, and 8 have a lot more direct violent crimes, but it's not like Ward 4 doesn't have its share. It had 121 homicides from 23 to 26. But quality of life crimes. When people come out, maybe have to take their family to the doctor for an emergency and their car's been broken into. That is a quality of life crime that impacts the quality of life. And then once you go get your car fixed, when you come back home, you find out that your house has been broken into. That is a quality of life crime. And so though 5, 7, and 8 have the most violent crime, high statistics in those numbers, but the quality of life crimes are happening throughout the city, whether it's in Ward 4 or 5. Everybody knows if you have an Amazon package, you need to know when it's coming, or you need to have somebody to pick it up, or it might not be there. Those are quality of life crimes that are created from impoverished communities. People have been neglected because maybe they are returning citizens coming out of jail. Maybe they're on substance abuse, have substance abuse or mental health issues. But this population has been overly neglected. And what you're seeing is a number of young people wilding out in the Navy Yard and the Wharf and different places like that. And what I'd like to try to tell a lot of people, as being a native Washingtonian, when you're 16, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, it's not so much what happening to you that upsets you. It's what's happening to your parents. If you see your mother and your father struggling, you see your uncle and your aunt struggling, because you're 15, 16, 17. You think you're invisible, you're going to live forever. But what really bothers you is, mom can't buy that. Dad can't buy that. Mom is frustrated over that. You see the impact of poverty, of unequal opportunities, not being able to access a lot of things. So that is where we get that from. So that's why I want to get 3,000 of them in the Mayor's Youth Beautification Task Force, give them between $50,000 to $60,000 a year, and let them get a different mindset. And then I can point them towards some educational, vocational training opportunities as well. But right now we have to get these lobbyists, the developers, these special interests, and their candidates. They put millions of dollars. We filed official complaints against Kenyon McDuffie, as well as Janice Lewis, for a violation of the Fair Campaign Election laws. And this is something that's very concerning, because the Fair Election Campaign law is supposed to bring in local people, not be used by political ecosystems to get around it, and to use taxpayers' dollars to help them promote these special interests in these lobbies. So it's a lot of work to do. You have to have a certain amount of public courage to do this job. Having managed Marion Barrett's first campaign, worked with Walter Washington, Charlene Drew Jarvis, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, just going all the way back to Julius Hobson, and just a number, just pretty much all of the city council members and the former mayors. We know each other, so I had that experience.
Okay. Before you touched up on my next question as well when you respond about crime, but to make it a little bit clear to our viewers as well as myself, can you say a little about what you say lifestyle crime or quality of life crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Well, quality of life crime, they impact the quality of your life. If you come out of your studio right now and you're going home and your car's been broken into, it impacts how you feel about the city. It's bothersome. Or if you come home and somebody's violated your privacy of your home by breaking into your house, those are things that impact the quality of life. You don't feel safe or that you're enjoying the city. And I want people to enjoy our city, to feel comfortable. And we want to have fun. We want everybody to get money. And we want everybody to be playing by the same rules and to know what the rules are to get ahead. I mean, the American dream is the DC dream. If you work hard, you discipline, you focus, you get ahead. We don't want any small groups gatekeeping or who gets certified minority contracts. We don't want special developers getting all of the deals. And that's why I'm not going to use commercial developers. I'm going to use nonprofit developers so that we can build on affordability, because that's the problem with these developers. We should not be having an affordable housing crisis when we just in the last decade spent $30 billion on new development. I mean, if they would have honored their agreements on 30% set aside, if they would honor their agreements, first social agreement in hiring DC residents, we wouldn't have an affordable housing crisis, and we wouldn't have double-digit unemployment in wards 5, 7, and 8. The fact of the matter is the district under Muriel Bowser, with Kenya McDuffie and Janice Lewis on the board, have got a reputation that once you get the contract, you don't have to honor it. You don't have to follow up. And that's why I'm going to redo that RFK deal, because some houses in the future and some jobs, that's just not going to cut it for $1.3 billion. That's not a subsidy. That is an investment. And DC taxpayers are going to get 26% ownership of that team as a result of that. And, basically my background is in, like I said, is interdisciplinary studies and mathematics, creating formulas to solve problems. And lawyers just like to talk, and all of them come up with different things, but very few of them come up with actual solutions. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in. We left too many people behind, too many people neglected. Got a lot of good rhetoric going on about looking out for everybody, but that's not what's happening in the district. And the youth takeovers at Navy Yard and the Wharf has just been one example of that, along with our violence and the quality of life crimes.
All right, that's a nice segue to our next question, which has to do with the rental assistance support system in the district. Up until 2 years ago, there was ample rental assistance for anyone that was behind their rent, and that was backed by a budget from the DC government, and residents were able to maintain their house if they are behind or if they are delinquent in their rent. The past 2 years has been so tricky, and in fact, last year the application portal was open for an hour or 2 hours, and then people were lined up for miles-long lines to apply for these benefits.
I see those lines. I saw.
You've been, yeah. So not a lot of people received any assistance. I mean, some did, but there is a problem with with the process of on the transparency of the entire process, like who was getting these benefits and who is not, and what's the eligibility criteria, and like whose application has been successfully submitted. That's also another issue. So what problems do you see with the current administration, and what do you plan to change if you get to the mayor's office?
Well, let's say when I get to the mayor's office.
When you get to the mayor's office.
Yeah, we're pretty confident on the outcome. Well, it's let's look realistically what's going on right now, okay? And these are things that your public officials are supposed to do for you. You're working every day. You shouldn't have to keep up with all of this stuff. This is what you hire people like me to do, and then report back to you honestly and forthright in terms of what's going on. Right now, Mayor Bowser presented a budget to the DC City Council with $468 million in cuts. Many of those cuts are to the rental assistance program, rapid rehousing, homelessness, child care services. those are low income resources that people need to maintain a certain quality of life, particularly with grocery prices being what they are, gas prices being what they are, the unaffordability of the District of Columbia. And so we have to make, these are choices. These are not necessary items that have to be done. And one of the things that, I'll state here that's different from any of my opponents is where the mayor is cutting these other things, but where I would be cutting is sanctuary city funding. That is where she kept in the budget. So we're still going to be putting up illegal immigrants in hotels at $250 a night. We're still going to be giving them EBT cards. We're still going to be giving them free health care, free education, and certain driver's licenses and other things. And those are things that are not sustainable when you have a $468 million budget deficit. So let's reverse that. Let's say, hold up on the sanctuary spending. I got too many military veterans sleeping in the street. I got too many homeless people sleeping in the streets. Our shelters have become too violent when you talk about the community, because I speak to a number of homeless people on why are you sleeping in the street? Why don't you go to the shelter? And they tell me, Mr. Johnson, the shelters are too violent. That's been going on for a decade. This is nothing new. This is something that, we should have been fixed. And the other thing, the shelter is not a lifetime place. It is a short stop for you to get on your feet and for you to get on top of whatever issues is, whether it's alcoholism, substance abuse, or mental health issues. Those are the things we have to identify with our homeless population, get them back on the right track. And so I'm going to make homelessness illegal in the District of Columbia. We're going to assess all of our homeless people. You're going to get the treatment that you need. We're going to know exactly who you are. And we're not just going to just keep playing revolving door with the homeless population. The Department of Behavioral Health has a budget of between $600 and $800 million. It has 1,500 employees. But it also has 9,000 contract employees. And I want a review of that to see how those funds are being deployed, because I need a lot more psychologists, and social workers in my school system, because we have a number of homeless students in our DC public schools. We have a number of kids with disabilities, and we have a number of low-income kids. So we need some wraparound services there as well. So it's a Herculean job. You need a certain amount of public courage to be able to address it. And my current opponents are just really working for special interests and just looking to continue to siphon off our budget to other things other than going to the residents of the District of Columbia.
All right. My next question is, as the nation's capital, DC has unique relationship with the federal government. If elected, how would you work with federal agencies while still protecting the city's autonomy and the interests of DC residents?
Well, I mean, being a native Washingtonian, I think one thing that people don't understand is that we always have had backdoor communications with Congress and the president. I remember I've been here as a child when Harry Truman was president. And we remember him sneaking out of the White House by himself to go to the Willard Hotels to get a drink. And Secret Service would be looking for him. And we would all know that Harry Truman just snuck out of the White House. I just remember that as a kid. I have worked for President Richard Nixon. I worked for President Jimmy Carter. And so what I'm saying is that I have a reputation. I'm not an unknown quantity. President Trump knows me. The Republican Congress knows me, Comey, as well as the House Oversight Committee, the Armed Services Committee, a number of former senators and congressmen. We eat at the Capitol Hill restaurant where my mother worked as a waitress for 40 years. Met a number of these people, and that's how I got to know them as well. And so, you have to come in with a certain amount, a certain reputation. I'm respected on the Hill. I'm respected in the White House. They know I want the nation's capital to be the greatest city on earth, that I'm going to do everything to protect its residents. And when you come with that reputation, you get the respect. When you come with the reputation that you're going to lie about crime stats, when you come with the reputation that you're going to abuse your authority, you're going to harass women and harass people that you don't like, just abusing your job, then that's a reputation that follows you also. And so when you get in these people's presence, when they don't show you respect, is because you think that they don't know what they already know. What you have to understand is Congress and the president, there are 252 law enforcement agencies in DC. That's not including the CIA, the FBI, the Defense Intelligence Agency. Okay, your information about who you are and what you are about precedes you. And if you're about nothing and you get in one of these jobs, they're not going to show you any respect. They want you. They wonder why in the hell people even keep electing you, because the nation's capital should be the greatest city on earth. Right now, we are slumming. To be quite honest with you, we are slumming. When you look at Dubai and Kuwait and all of those countries, and you go to those cities and see the cleanliness, see the low crime rate, the culture is different. So maybe we need to straighten up our culture because it's just a little bit too problematic over here for everybody's taste. And, I want to know that, when my children go out, that they're not going to be assaulted. They're not going to be shot accidentally. And I want assurances of that. And so that's why, I'm here running for mayor of the District of Columbia. So, and I see you have another. Please go ahead. I see somebody joining us from Facebook. Go get your friend. Johnson is here. You're next. You want to have a conversation? Let's go.
So we don't bring them in, but we can read out the comments that they have provided us. One of our readers, Malaku Dejan. His name is Malaku Dejan. He said, "Thanks for coming and sharing your thoughts. That's for you."
Thank you.
And he is saying that it's a good question. ሁላችሁም ተመልካቾች ፌስቡክ ላይ ላይቭ ያላችሁ ጥያቄ ካላችሁ መላክ ትችላላችሁ። እዚህ እኛ እንትናችን ላይ ማሰራጫችን ላይ ስለሚታየን ለጥያቄዎቻችሁ መልስ መስጠት ይችላሉ። ሚስተር ኤርነስት ጆንሰንን በዚህ አጋጣሚ እዚህ አብረውን ስለተገኙ ዛሬ ማታ ጥያቄዎቻችሁን ለመመለስ እናመሰግናለን። Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I have a few more questions, but before I proceed to those, you mentioned a few things about crime, and I'll keep that in mind. My next question has to do the same people that you said you have talked to when you went to the church, the cab drivers, taxi drivers, or for that matter, this is for anyone that goes into Washington, D.C. from all around the D.C. area. The traffic is crazy. Traffic lights are wacky, and the traffic camera is really annoying everybody. And people feel like that's just to generate revenue rather than to prevent accidents. And do you have any plans for the DC transportation system to revamp it or change how it operates from now, or are you okay with its current situation?
Well, let me just say, first of all, I want to say kudos to Metro and their management. I think they've done a wonderful job in keeping a clean system, a safe system. I enjoy riding it whenever I enjoy. I've been to New York and some other places, and that subway is just, oh my God, it's like stepping into a carnival. When you see how dirty and how graffiti filled it is and whatnot. Our subway represents the nation's capital with its cleanliness, and I'm just happy to be able to work with them. It's just finding the funding to keep it maintained, to expand, and to grow it is one thing. In terms of traffic cameras, I want all DC residents to know that as your next mayor, I will be removing the traffic fines from all of those cameras. You have to get some relief to our citizens, and things are just too expensive now So I will keep the cameras up for public safety, but they will not be used to issue any tickets. The unaffordability is the issue. Our water bills are too high. Our utility bills, gas, electric, is all too high, and so I got to give you some relief in ways that I can, and removing those traffic cameras, eliminating the lead pipe replacement program, and removing the public service commissioners who include all these erroneous rate increases are one way of doing that. In terms of the traffic, what we have is, I think we've invested now close to $5 billion in bike and bus lanes. That has created a traffic congestion where traffic is almost congested all day. And that's because the deployment of these bike and bus lanes were not well thought out. And I lay that squarely on probably the last two directors of DDOT, the Department of Transportation. I think a lot of these people come in with engineering degrees and have some ideas, they just want to just leave their mark without realizing how it impacts residents. Some of these bike lanes, like on Kenyon Street between Ward and Georgia Avenue, you have seniors that have been in those homes for 40 and 50 years. They need metro access. They need wheelchair systems. And because the bike lanes are there, they can't get the food deliveries and things of that nature. So a lot of these deployments were not carried out well. So DDOT would be one department that I would certainly be looking to reorganize, redeploy, kind of get some freedom from traffic congestions to some of our residents as well, and try to create some public parking spaces for people in the District of Columbia, so they don't. I think right now we're ranking between 1 and 3 in the worst traffic patterns in the United States.
Yeah. All right. Next question is, I am not sure if you have prior knowledge about this, but the current mayor, Muriel Bowder, she had a renewed DC's sister city relationship with Addis Ababa, and traveled to Ethiopia as part of a diplomatic and trade mission a few years ago. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International and the U.S. State Department have all reported that serious human rights concerns are happening in Ethiopia, including arbitrary arrests, extrajudicial killings, conflict-related abuses, forced displacement, and mass displacement in the country. So, if elected, would you continue DC's relationship with the current Ethiopian government? Will you change it or end it? How would human rights concerns shape your decision?
Well, I can honestly tell you, because I have many friends who work at the State Department, that I will be leaning heavily on the State Department's advice.
The State Department had put an orange status for Ethiopia currently, which is not safe to travel outside of the capital, and the government has been arresting a lot of journalists. You can see any data that's available, and the reports are grim. But in that situation, what would you do? Like, will you keep that relationship that the current mayor has, or?
I'm not familiar with that relationship. This is something that individually, like I said, I would seek advice from the State Department on, as well as the House and Senate Armed Services Committee and House and Senate Intelligence Committee to brief me on exactly what is going on, what is the U.S.'s role and relationship. I wouldn't speculate on what my position would be, because I really do not know enough, honestly, about the situation. And I don't really blow smoke just to be trying to get points. I don't claim to know about everything. I'm capable of learning anything really quick on the fly. It will be a quick decision. It won't be anything long drawn out, I can tell you that. Just to give you an example, I am looking forward to making Cuba a sister city. And I know that that's not a popular thing, But I think that 90 miles from Florida, I think there's some potential for port, import and export there. I think we can work with the Cuban government. I think the Castro family and that whole regime is waiting for somebody who is an authentic leader in the nation's capital to communicate with, who are not trying to for regime change or to diminish the accomplishment that they have struggled under, and someone who respects their culture. But they are in need of coming up to the 21st century, and I want to hear their ideas on how they want to do it, and the best way that I can help facilitate that. So just that's as far as my thinking has gone. A lot of people want to have vacation homes in Hawaii and other places. I'd like to have something in Cuba, to be quite honest with you.
Is that because of the cars or the cigar?
No. But that is a part of the history. It's just that the country has just been struggling for too long. You know what I mean? It really has, and I think they're wonderful people. It's a great place, and they want to protect it. And I understand what they're saying. They don't want anybody to come in there and just run over. But your people got to be making money before any industries. And I know they got a sugar cane thing that was going on over there for the longest time as part of their agriculture. I don't know what the other agriculture is. And this is, again, where I will rely on the State Department and the leadership of Cuba to share with me how they would like to approach it. But you got to get money into your residents' hands so that they can buy stuff from industries. Like, it's no sense putting a Neiman Marcus in Cuba. Okay? You know what I mean? Nobody can afford to buy the stuff. So you just got to put the money in their hands. And I think the best way, from what I've seen, is construction, sanitation, and agriculture. I think, and they have an excellent medical school. I understand that their doctors over there are really excellent from what I hear. Never had any experience with them. So I think those industries can be expanded and built on to put some money in circulation. But I think it's an opportunity that we missed for far too long.
Great. So we have reached to our final question. My final question.
I thought we were going for an hour. Wait a minute.
It's gonna be an hour. The next question should take about 8 minutes.
Okay, wait a minute. We got some more comments. What's those comments in Ethiopia? I don't.
Oh no, that's me asking them if they want to ask questions. They can directly ask their questions. But there is one question here that says, "I do have a question. In which department are currently growing or hiring the most? Do you have any idea which departments?"
In DC, education for sure. Education is a department that always are looking for teachers, particularly male teachers. We don't have enough male teachers in our school systems. And we're looking for bus drivers as well. A lot of Ethiopians have found their way into the security field, as well as security officers as well, that I've noticed. But healthcare industry, we just have a new hospital opening up in southeast of City Hill Hospital, run by George Washington University over in Ward 8. That is an opportunity that they're seeking to hire people there as well. But the healthcare field is always, and I know the Ethiopian girls, because I see a lot of them in terms of caregivers working with the seniors and whatnot. I notice that that's a field that a lot of them have went into. Now let me give you a negative. Let me give you a negative, because I speak to, like I said, I speak to a lot of Uber and cab drivers about this. And one of the things that I want my immigrant population to cease doing, I fell victim to this myself. Stop exaggerating your educational pursuits. Okay.
What does that mean?
That means stop saying that you graduated, that you have a master's degree in finance from the University of Russia, and you do not. Okay, that game is old, and it really messes up your reputation in hiring. I hired an Ethiopian who said they had a master's degree a doctorate degree in finance. Okay, and found out that they had also worked for the office of the Inspector General and was terminated from that position for incompetence, and I terminated him as well. And so in the United States, not just in DC, quoting those degrees is not respected. Okay, you know that's because of some bad actors that have come in, citing some credentials that they do not have. I fell victim to one of them myself, and because it's competence, and once you get on the job, people will know that you do not know what you said you know, and there's no way that you could have an economic degree from the University of Russia or Turkey or France or someplace else. And not have some basic mathematic competencies. So those some that's a negative that I just want to throw out.
It makes sense though.
Just pursue your education here. We got University of District of Columbia that's virtually free. If you have some credits someplace else, transfer them on in here to UDC. That's not a very high cost school. Then we got GW, Georgetown. American University, University of Maryland, my alma mater, a number of schools that you can really, Prince George's County Community College, and you can get in there and kind of like do some things. And there's so much online educational opportunities now. So no need to fabricate degrees, because once you get on the job, you just ruin the reputation for people who come in behind you.
We have another question for you again. This time it's from Biniam Talahun. It's reads as, what's your plan to expand health coverage for those who will lose coverage of Medicaid due to eligibility requirement? What about a plan to address homelessness? I think we covered homelessness pretty much earlier, but the health insurance, you want to go ahead and...
Yeah, well, homelessness, as I said, we just have to really just get on top of our homeless population, make it illegal to be homeless in the District of Columbia, identify.
You want to make it illegal?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have a friendly homeless population. If you have a friendly homeless policy, the whole United States will be in DC. So you don't want to announce anything like that. They will come from everywhere. Okay. No, illegal homelessness in the District.
So what do you plan to place for those? Like, what's the alternative? Do you have any plans for the alternative?
Yeah, the alternative is whatever you need is what you're going to get. Okay, if you got substance abuse, you're going to get a 30, 45, 6-month substance abuse treatment, alcohol, substance abuse, mental health issues. You're going to be evaluated at our mental health hospital here in the district, which is St. Elizabeth. And you're going to be placed on a certain amount of medication.
Isn't that closed?
Huh? No.
Is it still open?
Yes, absolutely. It's operated by the DC Department of Behavioral Health. And it can house up to 400 to 500 patients, inpatients. So, but we want to identify you, find out what your issue is and what your problem, get you on some medication, get you some treatment, and advise you that this is not the place to be homeless. We don't want no people sleeping on the street. Homeless shelters, why they're so violent, we have people who've been in there for 10 years. That is way too long. You know what I mean? Of course, you think you're the godfather of the shelter. You've been there for 10 years. You might rob anybody coming in there. So no. We got to set some time limits and get you identified, which means your fingerprints, your picture, your DNA, so we know exactly who you are, what your medical history are. So when the Department of Health, the Department of Public Health picks you up on the street again, we can already know, okay, this is George Green. Okay, you know, he's off his mental health meds again. Okay, so let's give him 7 days to detox. Let's set him up with a psychiatrist, counselor. Let's bring in the doctors, check all of his vitals. Let's see what's happening. Let's have a counseling conversation. George, we can't keep doing it. So what you want to do? You understand? And that's the type of approach that we have to have there. In terms of Medicaid eligibility, here again is another budget constraint. If you're going to give everybody in the world Medicaid, on our budget, you're not going to be able to afford it. So it has to be some requirements for the Medicaid. And right now, I think DC has a pretty good health policy on who qualifies. The only thing is we are taking on too many illegal immigrants in terms of health care. We can have a limited approach in terms of emergency care, but our budget will not allow it for everybody who comes into the United States illegally to have Medicaid.
I mean, I will do my own research later, but is there like a data to supplement that statement that this Medicaid is being used by illegal immigrants in DC?
It's a policy. It's
It
a
is?
policy of the Bowser administration. Yeah, if you're illegal immigrants, that's why the people from Texas were busting them up here at Union Station. You get $250 hotel night, you get Medicaid, and you get a BET card. Now, what happens to you after that is anybody's guess, because I see a number of them standing around at the plaza on 14th and Columbia Road, a number over at the Home Depot. Some are looking for work, some are looking for trouble. So yeah, that is a fact. That's part of her policy. But yes, she cut $468 million from the budget and says it's a budget deficit, but she didn't cut any of those things. So those are things that impact. And our people in DC public housing, see, we have the Section 8 vouchers and whatnot, but a lot of our residents there have 3 and 4 kids. We have to have free child care provided for them so that they can go out and find a job. The child care is expensive. You have 3 children, you're on Section 8, you're getting TANF, temporary assistance to families. You can't afford child care to go out and look for a job. So we need to provide free child care for them so that they're able to get on their feet. It's the same thing for our homeless population, people who are in the shelters. We need to provide those free services, but we need to identify who everybody is and who is ready to go into rapid housing and who is not. So those are the things that my administration will really be getting on. I seen one of my staff people came in here a little earlier.
Fabrice,
yeah.
Hey, Fabrice, if you're still online.
Yeah.
You touched a little bit about immigration and healthcare. It's just one brief question. What's your take on immigration? Like, how do you see immigration in general?
And I'm honest, I don't blow smoke. I know, when it comes to immigration, let me say this: immigration, LGBTQ. I know all of the political correct answers. Okay, I choose not to give. All right, I like to be honest with people. I mean, vote for me if you will. If you don't, illegal immigration is something the District of Columbia cannot afford. Charity begins at home. Okay, really. I mean, honestly, wherever you're from, I know everybody comes to America looking for opportunities. We have too many of my veterans homeless. We have too much crime. There's too much other stuff going on. Charity begins at home. I got to take care of my DC residents first. They are the long-term taxpayers. We have an African-American population here that was enslaved for 450 years. Okay, that built this country. All right, that have been struggling for their rights, their civil rights, their human rights forever. Stop thinking you're going to come here from Guatemala, El Salvador, and jump in front of them. And one thing that I would like to tell the immigration population is adjust your attitude to African Americans. Whether they are wealthy or not, they know their way around America. They have been here. Their families have been here. They have a lot more insight than you. And a nasty attitude is not going to serve you well with them. Don't try to jump on the white supremacist bandwagon thinking that if you're harsh to Black Americans, you're going to be ingratiated. No, you're not. You're just going to be locked out of both. And you're going to find yourself having to fight your battles by yourself. So that is kind of like where we are. The Black community, like I said, we have a unique history that no other group has in America. We were brought here against our will. Everybody else came here voluntarily. And we built the agriculture industry into a powerhouse, and from the agriculture industry, the industrial industry grew, and now the technological industry has built on that. But the basic wealth of America was built on slavery, from cotton and tobacco, from the South to the North. And we got to get our payday on that, whether it's reparations or anything else. So we cannot have sellouts representing us. That's the part of that. I don't know how many of you seen the movie Django with Jamie Foxx. Okay, yeah. All right. So you remember the character Steven? Yeah. All right. Steven had a lot of girls. You see all them girls? Well, they had a lot of children. And a lot of those children look like us, but they're not like us. They're just like, okay, they look to serve and oppress, and they carry out. In fact, they've done such a good job, they don't even need the Ku Klux Klan anymore. All right. And the blacks have just taken these roles, and many of them been elected to Congress, city council positions, become lawyers and everything else. That doesn't erase their heritage, because their DNA is not in supporting and uplifting and being compassionate to all people. I come from the Django side of things. Okay, so we're compassionate, we're caring, we want everybody to be okay, and we're upfront. But we demand respect, understand what our history is, what our people went through. Very few people could have went through and survived. I'm sitting here from Harvard and University of Maryland. My grandparents had a third grade education. Their grandparents had no education. Okay, so those are the things that are built up. All of my children have master's degrees. Okay, their mother has master's and doctorate degrees. So that's where we've come. We know we have to build out our excellence, and we want to share that. But I share that with all of the immigrant community. Come with respect for African Americans. It does not serve you well to be disrespectful.
Okay. Point taken. I don't think we have. Okay, Fabrice said hi. The last question I have for you is, what's one your go-to place restaurant, Ethiopian restaurant around the district? Do you have any favorite, or like, do you have any place where you prefer to?
No. If really honestly, I don't eat out a lot. I do a lot of cooking. My family, my mother's 93.
Have you tried Ethiopian food though?
Yeah. I have, but I'm 70. My stomach is sad. Okay, my stomach don't try a whole lot of new anything. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay healthy. I work out good. I bench press like 200 pounds 10 times, 3 days a week. I usually walk 5-6 miles. So I try to stay in shape. I have the stamina and whatnot to really represent all of the residents of the District of Columbia. Because if you're going to travail all 6 wards, deal with public safety, health care, education, as well as looking out for our residents, our MPD officers, all of them needs looking out for. So one of the things I want to do is bring their training back to Edwards Air Force Base and have some confidential training. But I want them to become experts in the use of non-lethal force, as well as de-escalation, and see how we can integrate some psychiatrists and mental health specialists into their response times. And so I'll be talking to them about the best way to do a lot of that. But also, I don't think people appreciate the fact when we have an officer-involved shooting, that's nothing light. And then they have families as well. So a lot of our officers have turned to some alcohol, substance abuses. They have family issues as well. And I want to be a mayor that they know that they can go to Edwards Air Force Base and address in confidence that will not impact their employment, get well, get better, work out their family situations, that they know they got a mayor that's got their back. I'm very impressed with the Internal Affairs Unit at this point. They're suspending their investigations. We do have a small rogue group of officers that have brought a toxic environment to MPD, and it has affected the quality of life here in the District of Columbia. I want to address that. And people share that with me because they know I can keep all those things in confidence. So I want to address and get those officers out of our department because I think we have a wonderful force. We got a wonderful city. We got 30,000 DC employees, and we can do some great things, and we will be doing some great things. But King McDuffie weighs 130 pounds. He's got all types of ethic issues. Janice Lewis is 5'1", a little young to even talk about being the mayor of a large metropolitan nation's capital. These are nice people I know. My son is King McDuffie. He's deputy chief of staff. So we've been around, so we know these people, but neither of them are prepared to make the tough decisions that a mayor has to make as the chief executive of the nation's capital. And both of them are backed by special interests and lobbyists who want them to be mayor because they know they can run over both of them. So that is something that is not going to happen. I'm already polling strong in wards 5, 7, and 8, better than anybody. Just got reached out by a number of Ward 6 residents to speak in Ward 6. So once I get that 6 locked down, the election is pretty much just going to be over. So nobody's impressed with the mailers and the little rigged up TV advertisement because see, Ward 5, 7, and 8, they suffered enough. So they know these people. So there's no amount of mailers or TV ads that's going to convince them that these people should be there next to you. Like I said, your reputation in DC, it goes before you. It's word of mouth. Word of mouth in DC travels faster than any news article can ever travel. Any interview or anything else. People already know who you are, who your family are, what you're about, and what you're not about. And they know that Ernest Johnson is the next mayor of the District of Columbia. He's waited his turn. He's paid his dues. He's solid as a rock, and he's the guy that we need. So it's just that, and you're not gonna get any opposition from the White House or from Congress. That just got like shows you respect. You don't hear anything negative coming out. I'm solid. Like I said, I just don't blow smoke, say all of the political correct stuff so that you'll like me. I'll tell you, I'm not for sanctuary city. No, we cannot take care of everybody. We do have a small road part of MPD that I'm going to pluck out and get rid of so that we can get the crime rate down in Ward 7 and 8, get some money circulating over there with 3,000 young people getting $50,000, $60,000 a year to help their families, get our school system. We're spending $1 billion a year educating our kids. We got a 54% dropout rate and a 35% truancy rate. We got to reform our system. So I think Chancellor Furby is a good person. I think I can work with him from what I see. He seems to be kind of like me. He'll share with me some honest stuff is what I'm saying in confidence, and I'll make the tough decisions. But our money is going out the back door. $1 billion are not going into our classroom, and that's where it needs to go. I seen they were flying in people from New York to manage Dunbar High School down on New Jersey and in. Now, that is what the dumbest decision that I've heard, but that's how much influence special interest has on DC taxpayers' funds, and I want to end that. We don't need to fly people from Dunbar. I could hire you to run Dunbar. I mean, it's a high school. Come on, you're flying in 6 or 7 people like these people know something about education. Come on, So, but you got to have a mayor that has a certain amount of public courage to be able to pull the plug because these people are making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars off of DC taxpayers, siphoning off our funds. And, it takes a certain amount of courage to say no more. You understand that money stays right here so that we can educate our children, take care of our seniors, make sure that everybody in DC that wants a job will have one. Certified minority contracts will get their true share of contracts. And we're going to get money circulating. We're going to get fun back in. We're going to have many fun. You understand? I want the girls hanging out, looking good, having fun with all the pretty dresses on, saying, oh, man, the nation's capital, that's where you want to be. All the guys looking good, got money in their pocket, taking care of their family. That's the type of environment that I'm going to create as the next mayor. So, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to be able to address not just the Ethiopian population, but everybody had the opportunity to tune in and listen to this broadcast. Remember, I'm Ernest Johnson. I am the next mayor of the District of Columbia. You want to spread the word out. If you want to reach me, it's Ernest Johnson for mayor at yahoo.com. Or you can go to my website, www.ernestformayor2026.com.
Fabrice should write that down in the comment section for anyone that's viewing. If you're still online.
Yeah. Don't write that website down, www.ernestformayor2026.com, so that they can go to the website and you can donate. You can also volunteer, and you can see a lot of great photos that we have with people and the comments and whatnot. So looking to pick up a number of major endorsements. We got 3 or 4 weeks before the early voting begins, June the 8th. Looking to pick up major endorsements, major donations, and push it on across the finish line. So that's
all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ernest Johnson, for joining us tonight, addressing questions from the Ethiopian Eritrean community in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. I am really appreciate for you taking the time to answer these questions from your busy schedule. ውድ ተመልካቾቻችን እንደተከታተላችሁት ለፈው አንድ ሰዓት የነበረንን የዲሲ ሜየር ካንዲዴት ጋር ስናደርግ የነበረው ጥያቄና መልስ በዚሁ ተቋጭቷል። በቀጣይ ሌሎች ካንዲዴቶችን ይዘን እንመለሳለን። እሱን እንግዲህ በገጾቻችን የምናሳውቃችሁ ይሆናል። መልካም ምሽት።
Thank you. Appreciate it.